Yebo linjani mahlabezulu. Today I am breaking down using the ACAM framework, one of the best causality engineering practices that our ancestors used to alter any situation, but that system never used prayer, not begging, not even penance or meditation. Stop praying then, do this that your ancestors did, and start manifesting today. I want to introduce some terms, to reintroduce them, because I know that a lot of us understand the following terms that are essential for anyone who wishes to master this one real technology for manifesting your desires, needs, Jesus, and wishes.
We worship you, Lord.
Which isn't kneeling, begging,
Hear
pleading,
our cry today,
or
Father.
praying. C-E continuum, which is consciousness energy continuum. The singular, axiomatic, non-local, infinite potential energy field equated with the waters of Nyunyu or the waters of Nu, or the quantum force field that is the substrate of all manifestation. CE, causality engineering, the ACAM definition of spells, the rigorous logical discipline of manipulating cause and effect so that you can manifest desired entities, results, and goals. That's why we used to say, may the gods appear. ACT, applied consciousness technology, the ACAM redefinition of magic, any technique, a protocol, or system that uses intentional manipulation of the consciousness energy continuum, like libation and the chance. The technology that helped our ancestors to stop praying and manifest anything that they want or needed was known as libation. That's an English term. What is libation? How does it work? Who invented it? Is it good or lawful for Jews, for Christians, for Muslims to pour out libations? Yet the Bible says they should pour out libations, and the Holy Book says so. Who invented it? First, who invented religion? Our ancestors did. Black people did. According to Damien Mary Athorpe, animism is about 100,000 years old. Our ancestors, we are still animistic. We have totems, we've got shamans, we've got paganism within us, and we mix now totems and many other systems. 70,000 years ago, our ancestors carved a snake, proving that they were already engaged in some form of spirituality using a religious, a physical entity, a snake, a serpent. So the African origin of pouring libation is set and is known. It is the documented one and the only one. The rest followed and came after. Here is some of the proofs. In Yoruba, libation is called Ebo. In Igbo, libation is called Itumai. In Ga Adegbe, it's called Shala. In Ibibio, it says Udoku Ukod. In Chiswahili, it's called Tambiko or Sadaka. In Sizulu is Ugupatla. In Akan is Nzagu. In Setswana is Gochela Madi. In Shona Okaranga is Mudiro, Mpiro, or in Indau Kutea. In Asian Hamid is Kebehu. Kebehu, not Kebehu. Kebehu. This is what we know in our own languages. So the ritual of pouring liquid as an offering or invoking a deity or a spirit, an ancestor, or anything else that you want to invoke using a liquid and libation with bare feet on the earth. The word libation itself comes from the Latin libatio, a pouring, or from the Greek loibe, drink offering, with a root leib, pour or make a libation. We have given the origins of that word. How does a libation work? This is one that has never been explained. When the Africans introduced libations on earth almost 100,000 years ago, before Christianity, before Judaism, before Islam, they were aware of its mechanics, or rather physics. Although it doesn't demand faith, you need to know how to start it. Just like it doesn't demand faith to drive a car, but you have to learn how to use it. So you have to understand causality engineering continuum. As we have already defined it, it is the quantum force field, the waters of union, all potential with all possibilities. It exists in a state of pure superposition. The all potential holds every possibility simultaneously until acted upon by a coherent observer. So you are using libation to act upon causality engineering continuum. So this act of pouring a libation, which is the greatest physical collapse mechanism that our ancestors created or discovered or invented, operates due to your intentional, localized and measurable continuous consciousness energy continuum connection that you establish through either your ancestors or community of ancestors or ethnic pool, which is Mondoro, clan ancestors, other spirits, or the first principles, which are the primordial gods, so that they go into the conscious continuum system or consciousness energy continuum system, and you are now using some applied consciousness technology, libation, to cause events to occur in your life. After the pour and the libation, in our Bantu and African traditions, we recite the genealogy. And that is if your libations are targeted at the ancestral level. But if they are targeted beyond the ancestral level, or if they are targeted for other spirits, you will need to use specific liquid. You can't use water, you can't use oil, you can't use beer, spirits for something. You have to know that water is for this, beer is for this, spirits is for this, beverage is for this, tobacco, snuff is for this. You cannot use everything for everything. You can't just pick and choose, because it's like taking a motorbike key and trying to start your Mercedes Benz. You waste your time. So in our applied consciousness technology, we know that you as an operator within your DNA system, they also the nervous system and your epigenetic lineage continuum, there is a bioacoustic and vibrational interface. Now, your ancestors are not metaphors. They are prior successful iterations of causality within your bloodline. In other words, what you are trying to do, ancestors did that and succeeded. That's hence they passed libation to us. So they left the patterns that are already here today that solved survival, wealth, health, and war challenges or problems. So your hardcore atheistic agnostic test was done already and proved by your ancestors. So this works. That's what we are saying, that libation works because it partners the forces that were tried and tested using our ancestral data set. And it came out that they used the seals that collapsed the vectors, that reduced the noise, and prevented the field from snapping back to baseline probability. So you're not inventing libation, you are using what is already there. You can't invent the wheel, you can't invent a Mercedes Benz, is already there. All you need is to drive it.
We
But
worship you, Lord.
some people may think that they can do it mentally and that they can use prayer only, or intention, or intuition.
We worship.
Remember this: a newly born
Hear
human
our
baby
cry today.
cannot run within a day. But a cow, a donkey, a calf of any of these animals will be able within minutes to do everything that involves life. Why? Because the human neuromuscular structure needs parental guidance first to become mature. Likewise, you as an operator who wants to do a libation, you cannot produce 100% causality impact without structural maturity. Holding an idea is not causation. The consciousness energy continuum is agnostic to belief. It doesn't care. It tallies irreversible actions. You do it wrong, it will bring wrong disasters. So libation works because it is telepathically a system that our ancestors used, and it worked. And it works. The liquid is the actuator, not you. It is a physical token that bridges consciousness and energy. Without it, the system remains theoretical. With it, you have marked time and you have put your key in the ignition and you are already starting to move and the reality update will okay. No failure, nothing like that. So Afro-Kamites and other African people and other indigenous people all over in ancient times didn't spend hours in prayers but performed libations and discovered mathematics, sacred geometry, astronomy, invented a lot of structures all over the earth, and they lived a more peaceful life on earth in harmony with nature. Whereas today, with our many churches, our mosques, our Bibles, our Quran, our Torah, we have invented absolutely nothing. So remember this.
Hear our cry today.
Libation is not prayer. It is not religion or spirituality. It is applied conscious technology, the oldest, most cross-cultural consciousness energy continuum protocol we have. Bantus in Hamid engineered it as tabehu, mudiro, mpiro, kutea. They understood that it was a technology that they can use to change the world. If you need to move matter, if you need to adjust the reality, to alter even that reality, and to invoke either the ancestors or the gods, or to find some power that can steer the waters of union for you, you must learn to master what to use. You can watch this video a million times, but knowing what is in this video and knowing that libation was a telepathic tool is not the solution, because libation demands that you know a vetting process, because you may pour libation without your spirit doors locked and without knowing the formula of vetting. Hence, that will open the doors for other deadly gods, demons, spirits, and uncleansed ancestors and other foul spirits to come in and dwell in your kingdom and start to use you and influence you. But you don't need to worry. If you have finished the ACAM training module that deals with libation, you know the formula and you know how you can fully cover yourself. Walk steady. To start on this journey, if you want to start and say, oh, I want to learn this, you can read the book by Dr. Kimani Nehusu, Libation. You can find it on Amazon. Read this book. Is very, very interesting and very, very important. You must also learn to master the technology. You have to know the technology. This is different because when you know the technology, you know how to start it. When you know how to start a car and stop it and brake it and drive it fast and slow and turn, you know how to control it. So libation, you have to learn how to control it, and the control is how to know the doors. If you are interested, send us an email here and let us revise a little bit that C-E continuum, consciousness energy continuum, that's the waters of Nyunyu. C-E consultant engineering, that's your ability to do spells, to call the gods to appear or the answers to appear. And ACT is applied conscious technology. It is libation that we have been discussing. But it is doors that must be locked. Otherwise you do it and it becomes a boomerang in your life. So stop praying, pour libation and start manifesting today. You can do that. And if you want more, as we have already indicated, like, comment, subscribe and share our videos. Turn on the notification bell so that you know when we upload our videos. If you want to do the ACAM course, again, send us an email and please insist that you want to do the ACAM course. Receiving a lot of emails that are too general to be helpful to us and to the sender. I'm your manager Topi, Christian Rabbi LM Dumuzu Kunikani Mjakanja, a member of Marfado Family Network, saying Salami Kashle, Edupe, Sarah Jaganaka, Asante Sana, Tualumba, Damian. Thank you. Have a great day.